Good everyone. I hope you guys have an amazing day. So today I'll be talking about Embedded Service SDK. I have to be cautious here though because Service Cloud Consultant certification is not a developer certification, and I do appreciate the fact that Salesforce would have thought, okay, so since this forms a part of Service Cloud, let's squeeze that into Service Cloud consultant certification. Ideally speaking, I would have thought that they would squeeze this into a platform developer one or platform developer two because they emphasize to embed this stuff into your Android app or to your iOS app, right? So I have to be careful. I'm not gonna do this as a programming exercise. I'm just gonna give you an overview, right? Because that's all you need to know for the certification. Now, if you're after mobile development, say Android Studio or Xcode, there are a lot of tutorials out there you can just go and watch, right? So this is just beyond the scope of the certification. Just wanted to keep the expectations straight away. Okay, so why do we need to worry about Service SDK, right? So we do have the native mobile app, right? So you must be thinking, why do I have to go through the pain of dealing with the SDK anyways, right? So, well, let's say you have an existing iOS app, right? So you have an existing Android app, and you wanted to bring the Service Cloud functionality to it, then obviously the native Salesforce app won't do the job because it's like, you open your phone, right? You have different apps. So the Salesforce native app is a separate app. And your own custom app, whatever you build, right? Could be using whatever technology, right? It does different to the Salesforce native app. But now you wanted to bring certain functionality of the Service Cloud to your mobile app, then you might have to use the Service SDK, right? Now, what all functionality supports? So, as you can see, I'm teaching from Trailhead, right? My apologies today because, like I said, it's not programming. Otherwise, I would have demonstrated using code. So, why the SDK is so important? Because obviously, if you wanted to custom build something, or if you wanted to embed the feature to your own existing app, you do need to have an SDK. SDK is a software development kit. Okay, it's like a libraries, the bunch of code which compiled together as a package in simple terms, right? And then you can make use of the functions and events to do this stuff, right, or build the stuff. So you can bring the knowledge, you can do the case management, and you can do the chat. These three things you can build to your existing mobile app using the SDK, and it's a very powerful feature, right? So that's in a nutshell why do we need to use the mobile SDK. From exam point of view, they won't quiz you much on that, maybe one question here and there or maybe two, no more than that, because it's not a programming certification, right? It's just a consultant one. Yes, I do agree consultants do code if you're a tech consultant, right? But this is not a technical consultant uh, service cloud certification, right? So all you have to know that, right? There is an embedded SDK. You can go to GitHub. There is a GitHub page. Just Google the mobile Service Cloud SDK. You will find a GitHub page. Download it, and you can probably um, use that library in your Android Studio and in your Xcode. Okay. So let me show you through the Trailhead how it looks like. All right. So let's look at right. Um, where is it? Okay, let's go forward. Oh, um, that's interesting. I just okay. Let me search for it. Right. Mobile SDK. Right. Develop with mobile SDK. So this is one thing, right? So this is what I was talking about, getting started with the Salesforce Mobile SDK. So you can do a lot of things with SDK, right? So, right, sorry, service. Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, Embedded SDK. So this is the one. Right, Hello World apps for iOS. Like you might have seen, right? I got very few badges, right? You must be wondering, this guy doesn't have much badge. That's right, I don't have much badge. Uh, the reason why I don't have much badge, right? When I started with the Salesforce, I got put into an enterprise level project. So, I mean, Trailhead is great, but from a real perspective, I don't value Trailhead much from a real life experience. I mean, I have almost over more than 5 years enterprise Salesforce level experience, mostly developing and architecting. So I worked on enterprise level systems for big agencies, right? So I value that experience rather than sitting and doing batch. So if I wanted to implement, say, for instance, I wanted to implement, say, a JIT handler, or I wanted to implement platform event, I just go to the trailer and read it, and then I implement it, right? The best way to do so, right? If you wanted to implement anything, just look for the best practices around those things, right? So that's exactly what I'm going to talk about here, right? So you wanted to implement embedded so Salesforce Service Cloud feature to iOS. You can pretty much do that using the libraries, right? Using SDK. But the thing I wanted to emphasize here is that just don't implement, something for the sake of it, right? Try to find a better way to do things, right? I always say to people, don't develop for today, develop for tomorrow so that you don't have to revisit it, right? When tomorrow comes, because you would have thought about things, right, which are going to happen in the future. So your software kind of works. So most of the time, I see software developers just fix it for today and forget about it. That's why we have a lot of tech debts in most of the Salesforce org. I hate to say that. I mean, I've seen a lot of different vendors, coming and their so-called 10 plus years experience. They're just creating, massive lot of tech debt, and I often, question the authenticity of even them having a cert when they can't implement a basic functionality in a proper way, right? So that's why if you're going to implement it using iOS, look around the best features. The best way to implement things. So this is a hello world, which is just a stupid example, right? I mean, so all you need to do is the Mac, right? So you have a Mac, and Xcode is a tool using which you develop your mobile app. You can use Objective-C or Swift, right? So it's an object-oriented programming language. Swift is a preferred one. Objective-C, you might see still all legacy apps still being maintained using Objective-C. Objective-C is not too bad, right? I think it's Apple's own proprietary language. Um, so yeah. So this is how you open it, and then you single view application. So you can do page based, master level, whatever, right? I mean, I built an iOS app 4 years ago because I built a billing application. So I know how the iOS works, but I can't demonstrate it. Like I said, it's not a programming exercise. And I don't use Mac, right? I use Ubuntu. So I can demonstrate Android Studio. So you do this, you open it, right? You can see the language choice. You can choose Objective-C or Swift. So Swift is the preferred one. And then you can see the embedded binaries, right? The service knowledge framework, and then you have this your um, information file, and then you have add help button. So you just drag and drop, right, and just connect using wires, and then this is your the Swift code, and this is just the basic. It's similar like Apex, right, if you look at it, but so yeah, and this is something you get. So like I said, I mean, this module is in a way out of context, and I don't think that this module really belonged to the certification. But so remember one thing, right? So the takeaway from today's lecture, right? We had got something called embedded Service SDK for mobile apps, right? And you can use that SDK to build your iOS app and Android app. Okay, so let's look at the Android app. So for that, you need to have Android Studio, which is, I mean, Ubuntu supports Android Studio. I've used Android Studio a lot of times, so I love Android Studio. So I installed the Android Studio, right? And so this is I mean, now the interface has changed. This is an old interface, but you just choose the frame activity, right? And this is the file, and then you write some code. It's just pretty simple code. You can choose Kotlin or you can choose Java, right? So that's up to you. Um, I prefer to use the Java, but and this is pretty simple. And there you are. You just built embedded the knowledge feature to your Android app. So yeah, that's pretty much I wanted to cover. There's nothing much to cover in this episode beyond that. So yeah, I mean, like I said, take it with a pinch of salt. This specific module, if you are interested, you can go and try yourself Android or iOS, whichever you fancy. That's up to you. But no one will test your app development skills for the certification, right? Because I'm teaching purely this course from Service Cloud consultant certification point of view. So that's all pretty much I wanted to cover. I hope you guys have an amazing Thursday evening. Adios.